What's up, my peeps? How are you all doing? I hope you are well. Tim Rose says, where is everyone? That's a good question. Speaking of, I got 3 people here and only 2 likes. Let's see. There we go. Doc is here. Hey, Doc, how's it going? Matt Boardman is here. Yay, there he is. Captain Casey Stewart, hello. Doc McIntosh, who is your daddy? What does he do? Captain Casey Stewart says haircut. Where? Delilah's here. Hey, how's it going? Ozzy, member for 34 months at the rank of Federation President, Mr. President, sir. Long live the pugs. I should probably fix that. Yeah. Unpin, remove that message. Yeah, thanks, Doc. I noticed that. $20 shits for everybody. $20 shots. There, for anyone buying. That wasn't a good look. You're right, Doc. Thanks for pointing that out. There we go. Pug Power. Yes. Hey. Hezraz and Devin Larson. How's it going? So yeah, figured I'd come do a live tonight. If I'm doing shots, if you guys are paying, I got the original Cabot Trail Maple Cream. This is really good. It's really good in coffee. Made with pure maple syrup from Canada. Some maple leaf. It's so Canadian, I'm telling you. And it's 15% alcohol. It's really good. It's like Bailey's. It's really good in coffee, by the way. But it's a good drink for shots or for sipping. Doc McGillicuddy, Ozzy, we need a new replication system on Arbus 7. We put the request in, and so far we've gotten blankets and shingles. Mr. Federation President, sir, take care of the people over on Arbus 7. They need your help. Help them, Ozzy Medeiros. You're our only hope. Yeah, so I did a live last night. Figured I'd do another one tonight just because Sylvia's downstairs. She had to go do some laundry and she just wants to chill out a bit before she goes to bed. But she'll be going to bed very soon. And thought, why not come and hang out with you guys? Because I love you guys. And to show off my new haircut. Isn't it glorious? Don't I look so sexy and commanding? It's better than it was, I'm telling you. So, Tim Rose says that looks good. Yes, this Cabot Trail Maple Cream is delish, for sure. So, if you have the opportunity, I highly recommend picking it up. And I'm drinking that courtesy of Eric Martin, who purchased it for me. So, thank you, Eric, as well. All right. Yeah, what do you guys want to talk about? Throw me a topic. This is the way. Captain Casey Stewart just watched TOS Menagerie. Very nice, very nice. Ozzy, hey Matt, I add another starship to the Superior Commander at USS Skeleton Hands besides Okie Dokie. USS Skeleton Hands is on its way. Doc McGillicuddy, I can't wait to see the USS Red Dwarf in the fan film. That's an amazing name for a ship, Doc. Yes, 100%. Should do the USS Starbug as well, actually. Or the USS Battlestar. Ooh. Oh, so many good names. And you can get your perk. You can get that perk if you go help out his Indiegogo campaign. There are some ship names that he'll be using your suggestions to name. So, but yeah, those are fantastic. How about the USS Firefly? Hey, Trekyards. Please state the nature of the medical emergency. Please state the nature of the YouTube live emergency. USS Littlest Hobo. For a starship, no. I don't know if I buy that. The USS Cabot Trail. There you go. USS Foley's Pug. USS Jellybean. You guys are so silly. Listen. Oh, and just for the record, I was wrong. Sylvia did not pull up my Star Trek Deep Space Nine technical manual. I did, because I was looking for something on the Miranda, and I completely forgot. So, that was from last night's live. Because I asked her, and she's like, no, I haven't touched it. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right, I did that. Captain Casey the Stewart says, so, Cap, favorite steam locomotive and steam locomotive manufacturer. My two favorite steam locomotives are the Berkshire and the Hudson. Those are fantastic steam locomotives. I'm not sure who the manufacturers of those are, but yeah, the Berkshire and the Hudson will win me every time. I love those. Pony Person, hey, haven't seen you in a while. USS Einhorn. Doc McGillicuddy, does your wife know you're talking to other women named Miranda? Maybe. She's cool like that. Buffalo Sack Attack. Who is the best Star Trek captain of all time? There's no answer to that question. But if I had to pick one, of my favorite captains, it would have to be Cisco. So, take that for what it's worth. Ozzy says USS Gorn. Sure. Geek in Review is here. Hey. Doc McGillicuddy, I like trains from Back to the Future 3. Oh, that's the Jupiter. That's a Jupiter class. I don't think the trains are called classes, but that was a Jupiter for sure. I'm not a fan of those, honestly. They're a little bit too trainy, I guess. I think I got a little bit of a smudge on my... Everybody cover your ears for a second while I clean the lens/microphone because they're together. So warning, here you go. Warning, cover your ears. There we go. Don't say I didn't warn you, because I did. I mean, Miranda is sexy for a ship. Is it? I think the nacelles are a bit droopy and underslung. You know what I'm saying? They're not perky nacelles anymore. Geek in Review, what other Delta species do you think the Protostar crew should encounter? I'd love to see what the Voth are up to. Yeah, the Voth would be fantastic. I mean, the Devores would be cool. The Devore warships were pretty awesome. And they're kind of assholes when it comes to telepaths and stuff, so... I would need a list of Voyager Delta species, Delta Quadrant species. Doc says, best captain is Wesley Crusher on his LSD orgy space ride ship. Olivia Julius, hey Captain, you look good and old today. Thank you. Pony Person, you didn't warn us. I did, and if you didn't pay attention, you deserve every blown eardrum. Captain Casey Stewart, Hudson is American Locomotive Works as well as the Lima Locomotive Works. Well, there you go. And now I know. And knowing is half the battle, or so I'm told. SC Scout Guy. My grandfather was an engineer on an Atlantic Coastline Railroad for 47 years. I have always loved locomotives because of that. My grandfather worked in the train, the steamworks in Stratford, Ontario. He was like they were responsible for repairing locomotives. So like the big steam locomotives would come in and they'd have to do the repairs that were necessary. So yeah, I've always loved trains ever since I was a kid. My grandfather had like the whole basement was an HO layout. Like you had, when you went down the stairs, you had to get down on your knees, hands and knees and crawl under the table. And you come up in the middle and then you're just surrounded by HO train layout, which was fantastic as a kid. So, I think it has a rack, the science pod. The Miranda doesn't have a science pod, it's got a weapons pod. Our captain is dignified, not old. It's also very true. Captain Casey Stewart. My favorite is Shea geared locomotive, also from Lima Locomotive Works. Okay. Don't know what that looks like offhand. So, Geek and Review. Have you taken a look at the Trek Props costumes auction? No. Is there one on right now? Doc says Thomas the Train is top 3 for me. Thomas the Tank Engine, Sir Topham Hatt, and Mr. Conductor. My dad used to watch that. I was like I was older when that show came on, and I'm like, why are you watching this? He's like, look at these train layouts, because back when it first aired, it was actually a train layout, and you got to see the actual operation of the trains on this layout, which is cool. Then they went to CGI. Hi, Dot. Are you joining us? Hi. Oh my goodness, Dot's here. Dot never comes in for lives. Hi. Yeah. Let's see. I'll show you Dot. You guys never see Dot. There's Dot. Hey, Dot. You gonna sleep with Lola? Who's a good girl? He's a good girl. Yeah, you are. Hey, sweetie. And there's Lola. And Precious. Precious stole the little bed, so Lola got the big bed. .con. .con is spelled this way. That's true. Nah, it is spelled Karen. Wrath of Karen. Funny person, I'm contractually obligated to say Miranda class is best, which is true. Along with the Dot. I watched Shining Time Station with Thomas the Tank Engine when I was little. Doc says Miranda class, the workhorse of the Federation. I wonder how many Miranda classes were later laid waste in the Dominion War. Lots. NYPSF. New York bullshit frames per 47 and 24. Olivia, Fleetpaw is blaming me for his snowstorm. Can you help me? No, I cannot. It is your fault. Sci-Fi Nation is here. Hello, Sci-Fi Nation. Doc says, poor Trump announced another failed bid. Fox News said they would not air any Trump segments anymore. We're not going to get into that stuff. I didn't even know that was a thing that happened, so don't care. Sci-Fi Nation, fun fact, the conductor was called the Fat Man in the UK. That's not nice. Transformatics. Cute puppers. Ours look cute. B, he's and ours to everyone except my wife. American Esky. Pony person, my medic duty is now over, so I'm going back to sleep. Have a good Miranda class. See you later, pony person. Captain Casey Stewart, what do you think the corridors look like in the Enterprise from the cage? Very similar to what we see in TOS. Not as brightly lit, obviously, as the ones we see in Strange New Worlds, but you do see a section of corridor when Pike goes into his quarters, and there's just people strolling around 1960s clothes. SC Scout guy. Yes, we do not discuss political stuff here. That's true. Geek and Review. He was called the Fat Controller in Thomas in the UK. Well, I mean, it's accurate enough. Sci-Fi Nation. Yes, I agree. Doc McGillicuddy. Yeah, he said that. Matt Boardman. Captain Pike called and said you win the better haircut wars. No, he didn't. You liar. Although, I did get the Strange New Worlds away team jacket today, and I gotta say, the difference between me and Pike is I make that look good. The bot said 47 and 24. What's 47th premise? Oh. Oh, I don't know what that means. So we will just get rid of that bot then, because that's bullshit. Matt Boardman, indeed. Any more about current politics not related to Trek will be removed. Thank you. Gary Davis Jr., $10. Good evening, Captain. How excited are you for Picard Season 3? I'm super excited for it. So, I'm going to have half a shot for that because it's $10. So I'm going to have some of my Cabot Trail maple cream made with pure Canadian maple syrup. It's like Bailey's, but it's maple flavored, and it's really good in coffee, just for the record. So I'll have half a shot for a $10 super chat. I think that's fair. Plus, I just want to choose to drink some, and nobody's thrown in a 20 yet for a full shot, so it's fine, I guess. Cheers. Bright Star Line. Did you know the train in Back to the Future 3 was also on one of the stars in the 1960s TV show Petticoat Junction at the Hooterville Cannonball? I did not know that. Isn't it 47 in Star Trek a writer's joke? Yes. Yes, it is, which is quite ironic. Doc McGillicuddy, that's really cool. That train was able to be in multiple productions, almost as if it time travel. No, it doesn't work. Okay, I thought I'd try. Transformatics should call all the bot accounts Peanut Hamper, LOL, and cheers. Olivia says, I'm about to pick up Army cadets and take them to Foot Leonard Wood Mow. I'm about to leave the bus barn now. I would be grateful, Captain, if you gave the word to depart. Olivia, the word is given. You may depart at your leisure. General Grievous, I see where your mind is, Cap. You started to Hooters. I started to say Hooters, yes. Sci-Fi Nation, the word is given, Olivia. Doc Mac says, Fort Leonard Wood is an MP training base. There you go. In Missouri. Ozzy says, it's also in TV series Wild Wild West. Cool. Doc says he went to basic training at Benning. Olivia, Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. There you go. Doc says Fort Lost in the Woods. Gary Davis Jr., Fort Leonard Wood. SC Scout Guy. Today I learned that Cher almost played the Borg Queen in First Contact. Yeah, I had heard that. If she could turn back time, she'd assimilate Earth of the past. But oh no, that pesky Captain Picard would go and stop her. I don't know. I lost the tune there. So, Cap, did you remember to write down the idea of a Wolf 359 ship's top 10? No. But after the live, like about half an hour after, Eric Martin messaged me and said, don't forget about the Wolf 359 top 10. So I'll make a note of it. Do you believe Borg after Borg after Borg? Sci-Fi Nation, great question at Bright Star. Gary Davis Jr. Leonard Wood is also training camp for engineers, combat engineers, that is. Buffalo Sack Attack. Other than all the Star Trek series, are there any sci-fi shows you really liked? I really like Babylon 5. Yeah, I love Babylon 5. Firefly wasn't as good as everybody says it is, honestly. Love Battlestar Galactica, the original one, and the new one. I think they're both great. There's so many good sci-fi shows. Stargate, SG-1 is fantastic. Stargate Atlantis is good. Have not seen Stargate Universe yet, and this is where everybody's like, Stargate Universe is awful. Star Trek or Stargate Universe didn't get enough of a chance. It was pretty good. I mean, everybody's going to complain and give their own opinion, but yeah. Yeah, I like a lot of different sci-fi shows. I haven't seen all of them, unfortunately. I'm getting there. I haven't seen Farscape. I haven't seen whatever. There's a lot I haven't seen. I can't think of any right offhand. Blake 7 was pretty good. I like Blake 7. Space 1999, I saw some of growing up, but no, I haven't seen the whole thing. So Earth Final Conflict, haven't seen that either. Bright Star Line, Captain, favorite fictional aircraft, not space related. Fictional aircraft? The Phoenix from Battle of the Planets, or G-Force, or as it was called in Japan, Gachamon. I love the Phoenix, the God Phoenix. It is an amazing ship. I've got a model of it. I always wanted one as a kid. There's nothing you could buy toy-wise for it. Now I've made up for that. I've got a few of them. But I really love the Phoenix. It is by far the best looking. I don't know if you call it an aircraft though, but yeah, we'll go with that. Combat engineers are no joke. I've seen a battalion go Seabees and an engineering battalion build a dam in 11 days. And not a small one. So I like the Starfleet Corps of Engineers. I still haven't seen Fortress. No, I haven't. Trek or not. Space and Above and Beyond, which I know you haven't seen yet, is another great one. Yeah, I need to get to that. Space 1999 and UFO were great. It is only one season, though. Airwolf is my favorite fictional aircraft. Airwolf is up there. So is Blue Thunder, actually. Olivia says, fun fact, I have my 56 passenger bus, and I'm only picking up 2 people and taking them from the airport to 120 miles and 120 miles back. Wow. General Grievous, Stargate Universe had potential, but was meh, in my opinion. It was the prototype for the Star Trek Discovery, in my opinion, in terms of having a soap opera feel to it, and a little too much drama. Okay, well, I need to see it at some point. I have still not seen Universe, so. Transformatics, Sliders was a great show. Same with Quantum Leap. Quantum Leap was fantastic. I never really got into Sliders. It's another one I haven't seen all of, so. Sci-Fi Nation, what's that aircraft that Clint Eastwood flew? The Firefox. That's another great one, absolutely. And the planes from Stealth, the movie Stealth, not Eddie, Eddie is the complete package. Eddie's the new one. I don't really like the design of Eddie, but I like the design of the ones that he's replacing. Those are fantastic as well. Mark Lawrence, hey man. Yeah, it was Firefox, guys. Don't say that to Sam. I think it's one of his favorites. Geek and Review, Stargate Universe Season 2 is amazing. Remember Automan in the 80s? No, I don't. I've since seen Automan, like, I haven't seen the show, but I know that Desi Arnaz's kid is in it. And I know there's a Lamborghini Countach, like with the Tron, and a helicopter with like the Tron lighting. It was one I would definitely watch as a kid, but for some reason I never even knew it existed until like a few years ago. Stealth had Jamie Foxx in it? Yes, it did. Bright Star Line, one of my favorite non-main space franchise spacecraft was the space rocket Moonlight SY-3. Mark Lawrence, still unpacking from my weekend trip. I hope you had a good trip, Mark. And unpacking is always a pain in the ass. More so than packing, I think, honestly. But glad you're back. Glad everything's good. Hope you had a good trip. Matt Boardman's like, General Grievous, do it. Do it. Do it. So... Yeah, I like Automan's a weird one because that's something I totally would have been into as a kid because I love Lamborghinis. Like Sideswipe, the Autobot Sideswipe was my favorite Autobot just because he was a Lamborghini Countach, and I just loved everything Lamborghini back in the day. Still do, honestly. So yeah, I'm surprised that Automan kind of slipped under my radar, and I didn't know about it till a few years ago. I still have not seen it. But I really like Greatest American Hero. I've been rewatching that, so that's cool. But yeah. Did winter hit you today, Cap? We got pummeled here today in Michigan. No, not today at all. Actually, it was Sunday we got snow. And a fair bit, but it was pretty much gone on Monday. And today was actually quite nice. It wasn't super cold. But it wasn't snowing or anything, so no, we did not get it. So I apologize to everybody that gets snow. On behalf of Canada, I'm sure you all blame us for it anyway. Bright Star Line, in one of the Trekyards lives, you looked at the Moonlight SY-3 and said you liked it and would want to build a model. Ooh, well then it must be great. I can't picture it right now though, so I apologize. Grant McGregor, I would love a Sliders reboot with all of the same characters, but it turns out it's Sliders sequel and they meet again. And they meet the original Sliders. That'd be great. Sci-Fi Nation, mind you, Cap lives quite a few kilometers south of me. That's true, I do. A little too close for comfort, in my opinion, Sci-Fi. So, yeah, let's see, other sci-fi franchise. Sci-fi is so encompassing, like I'd say Transformers, stuff like that, but then some people jump on it's not sci-fi, but it is. It is, though. Like, I would even consider, and this is questionable, and this is quite... causes quite a stink among people, but I would consider Knight Rider a sci-fi series. It really skirts that line, but it's sci-fi enough. Like Samuel disagrees. He doesn't think it's sci-fi at all. He thinks it's just a car with a computer in it, which it is, but it's a sentient computer. So that one's really tough because you can definitely argue both sides of that one. I love you too, Sci-Fi Nation. Jason Paris, how are the pugs doing? Oh, they're fine. They're both sleeping. being little goofballs today. Transformatics. Automan was awesome. He was like a triple changer, helicopter Lambo, Tron-esque cop, and the master Lee Van Cleef ninja show was out at the same time. Knight Rider is totally sci-fi. Trekyards says it is sci-fi as it hints at advanced, not normal technology. I concur. Bright Star Lines, Knight Rider was at the time definitely was sci-fi. Sci-Fi Nation says the Hot Wheels came with the turbo boost tunnel. I had that. I had the little Hot Wheels Knight Rider, and I had the little turbo boost tunnel that you put it in, you locked it in, and then you like put it on the floor and you slammed it forward and it just shot out. I had that. I also had the big Knight 2000 where you pushed on the license plate and it talked. Matt Boardman, so glad I'm not still living in Michigan this time of year. LOL. I wish you were living in Michigan, Matt, because then we could have like met up a few times. Transformatics, it's sci-fi, 100%. Grant McGregor, Knight Rider had a turbo mode for kit and bad guys sci-fi vehicles. Yes, indeed. Mark Lawrence, more than just an AI, the Knight Industries 2000 and the Knight Automated Roving Robot had a lot of sci-fi tech. That's true. Don't forget Goliath. Cannot forget Goliath. Bright Star Line, to me, so was Airwolf sci-fi. Yeah. It was like they could have and should have done a Knight Rider Airwolf crossover. I thought that would have been mega cool. And there was another one with a bike, with a motorcycle. What was that called? But it's the same time. It was like a motorcycle that had missiles on it. The name is eluding me right now. That is definitely one of the drawbacks. I think we only lived 3 hours away when I was there. What the hell, damn guy? Why'd you move? Long Rider. I'm in Michigan, and we just had our first substantial snow of the year, autumn to winter, in 24 hours. This is the way it is in this area of the world. Cap never wants to meet sci-fi. I see how it is, LOL. I didn't say that. Jason Paris. I'd like to see a $6 Million Man reboot, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. Grant McGregor says Viper? No, it wasn't Viper. Viper's about a Viper, a Dodge Viper. And yes, that's another sci-fi one. Street Hawk. Thank you. That's it. Street Hawk, Knight Rider, and Airwolf should have definitely had a crossover. Geek in Review. Street Hawk was the name of the bike show, I think. Yes, it totally was. I never really watched Street Hawk. There was a movie called The Wraith. I believe it was called The Wraith, with a prototype. I think it was a Pontiac. It's a prototype car, which is very cool. That's a got a movie I need to watch again, actually. Just reminded myself of it, and it's like, yeah. Where it like kills. It's got a driver that goes around killing people, I believe. Can't remember the premise of it now. But the Wraith was such a cool car. Have Airwolf drop kit down a half pipe. Sci-Fi Nation, how about Blue Thunder? I love Blue Thunder. I got a nice Blue Thunder in the other room, actually. Trekyards, what did you think of V Cap, the original? I remember watching that as a kid and being like blown away and freaked out by the lady eating a big hamster. Not a hamster, not a gopher. The hell is it? Guinea pig. And looking at that effect now, it's like, oh my good God. But as a kid, I was like, that's cool. And then when they got their face ripped off, you saw the alien underneath. And Freddy from Nightmare on Elm Street, Robert Englund, I liked his character. He was the nice, kind of dumb guy. Yeah, V was good. I liked V. I need to watch V again. Mark Lawrence, a young Charlie Sheen. Was he in Wraith? possibly. Sci-Fi Nation, V was awesome. The miniseries and the series and the reboot. Bright Star Line, a little behind the scenes info about the Knight Rider flag semi was in an episode of Airwolf. Yeah, yeah. Grant McGregor, but by the way, Viper did have a motorcycle in its later season. I don't remember that, so. And a white rat. Same way we feed snakes, yeah. Melissa's Legally Blind World is here. Hi, Captain. Managed to beam in, getting cold over here. Well, stay warm, and thank you for joining us. We're kind of talking about a lot of sci-fi shows and stuff currently. Not really on the Star Trek theme, which is fine. These hangouts are about talking about whatever you guys want to talk about. So, Mark Lawrence says, yes, it was a young Charlie Sheen in The Wraith. I need to see that again. Sci-Fi Nation, the dumb guy played Freddy Krueger. Trek or not, and we know you love those little cuties in Batteries Not Included, LOL. I love the movie Batteries Not Included. And a lot of people don't even know about that movie anymore. Like, yeah, Batteries Not Included is a great movie. It's another one I need to go back and rewatch. Yeah, I need to make a list of shit I need to go back and revisit. But there's so much I haven't seen that I need to see that I should probably just watch what I haven't seen instead of going back to what I know I've seen. So, Melissa says she's wearing a sweater. That's good. That is very good. Sweaters keep you warm. But yeah, as I was saying earlier too, I got my Strange New Worlds away mission jacket today. I posted some pictures on Facebook, so if you're on Facebook and are a friend of mine, you might have seen them. This is a nice jacket. I got it from a place called The Movie Fashion. Yeah, I think it's called The Movie Fashion. I got it for $130, but I also got 20% off, and then an additional 10% off with the app Honey. So, good price for it. Good price for it. Mark Lawrence, showing my kids so many of those good movies during the non-traveling times. Bright Star Line, Captain, did you like movie The Hunt for Red October? I love that movie, and I've not just been Sean. I love that movie, and not just because Sean Connery's in it. Hunt for Red October is a fantastic movie. I love The Hunt for Red October. Donnie is here. Hi, Donnie. Melissa says, oh, thanks to Sci-Fi Nation. Okay. Trek or not, Hunt for Red October has sick atmosphere. Melissa says, if Starfleet Medical is wondering, my transporter fears are a little better. Learned plexing with Counselor Troy, and it helps a little. Plexing, eh? Matt Boardman says The Hunt for Red October is definitely a favorite movie here for Matt. That's awesome. And Sci-Fi Nation says The Hunt for Red October is on top of his list as well. Yeah, you can't argue the classics. And I don't mean classics as in old media. I just mean like classics. Classic stories, classic characters, classic everything. Yeah, Hunt for Red October is great. And again, another one I haven't seen in a dog's age or more. Dot. Dot. I hear a little dog. Dot. Come here. Oh, there you are. You snuck in here. Good girl. Good girl. Matt Borman, I had the soundtrack, and back in the day, the CD player in my car had a security system with one of the CDs being the key to be able to use it for the power was ever disconnected. That's cool. My security key was my Hunt for Red October soundtrack. That's cool. Melissa says, even though I'm a cadet, my favorite is Starfleet Medical, my favorite division of Starfleet. That's cool. Bright Star Lines, Captain, did you watch Tremors? And if so, how many movies? I think I saw like 3 of the Tremors movies. I really enjoy the first one. The second one was fairly good from what I remember. I don't remember anything about the third one at this point. But yeah, the first one is definitely one I've seen a few times. So Donnie says, I love the 1999 Paramount Picture adaptation of The Rent for Red October. The Hunt for Red October. Sci-Fi Nation, Michael Gross, The Family Ties Dad, awesome movie series. Ethan Koenig is here. He says, sup, my man, what's up? How you doing? Starfleet Boy is here. My God, we have royalty with us today. Hello, Starfleet Boy. I can't stay but gotta say, looking sharp with the new haircut, and I love it when you were in the library. You have a fun stream. Good night to the Trekyards audience. Well, thank you, Starfleet Boy. Good to see you. Thanks for swinging by. Much appreciated. Take care of yourself, man. But yeah, so getting back to that jacket, it's nice. It fits beautifully. It is a 2XL, which is a good size for jacket. The sleeves were a little long, but I just had to fold them over and tuck them in, and they're actually the perfect length. It's a little bit darker than I expected. It's more of it looks almost all black, so it doesn't have like the lighter gray with the black stripes, which is fine. It is a dark gray with the black stripes. It just kind of looks all black. But I do love the Starfleet patches on the arms. Those are amazing. So, yeah. Ethan says, long day at work, currently frying some burgers. Well, enjoy those burgers. That sounds really good. Peter Lukaku throws in $20. Under Siege kills Hunt for Red Sausage Ship. Love the early version of the F-18s. Well, that's $20 super chat, so that's a shot. So here we go. In case you're new joining us and haven't heard what I'm drinking the original Cabot Trail maple cream made with pure maple syrup from Canada. This is good. It's like Bailey's. It's got a maple hint to it, and it's really good in coffee, just for the record. 15% alcohol. Good stuff. So, Peter, thank you for the super chat. I will have a shot. Melissa's here. She says, just been eating warm, soft food all day. Today's a good day to have like chicken noodle soup. I love chicken noodle soup. One of my favorite soups. Actually, I like all cream soups pretty much. Any kind of cream soup I absolutely love, but I really love chicken noodle. Bright Star. I like Tremors 1, 2, and 4. 3 is okay. The rest is nah. I don't think I've seen 4. Buffalo Sack Attack. Fire in the Sky was awesome movie based off of Travis Walton's abduction experience. Yeah, terrifying as well. I think the book's obviously better, but that's another one I haven't seen in forever. I think I've only seen that once, by the way. Melissa said I had tomato soup last night. I love tomato soup as well. I like all kinds of soups, honestly. But yeah, tomato soup's really good, especially with grilled cheese. Sci-Fi Nation, was that the one in the UK on the airbase? Fire in the Sky, no. Michael Gross also voiced Lloyd Fredericks Mojo in an episode of the 1992 animated series of Batman, and Warren McGinnis in the first episode of Batman Beyond. Joshua Farrow, what's up, Captain? Enjoying your night? I am, Joshua. It's even better now that you're here. Melissa, about the Borg, Captain. Do you know why they have gray skin? It's grayish white skin, but yes, it's because of the essentially the nanites or the nanoprobes that are in their skin. Um, yeah, I don't know the reason. There's there is an explanation, but I just don't know it offhand. So you should know your Starfleet Medical. Curtis says, "Hello, Captain. I hope you are doing great. I have been playing Batman Arkham City. Nice. Hopefully enjoying that. I haven't watched any of your streams, Curtis. If you've streamed it, I apologize. I've started playing Gotham Knights, and haven't got very far in it, but enjoying it so far. Bright Starline, Captain, you like original Perry Mason? I haven't seen much of the original Perry Mason. I have seen a few of them. I remember my grandma used to watch that, and my parents used to watch stuff like Matlock and, you know, Sanford and Son and a whole bunch of other stuff, Three's Company. So I watched a lot of that stuff growing up, just because it was on TV. It was the only thing on, really. And my parents were watching it, so we kind of had to watch it if we were in the room. But yeah, Perry Mason. I've seen a few Perry Masons, but and stuff like the Rockford Files. Magnum PI was one of my favorite shows, still is. So Peter Lukaku, $2. First snowfall up in Sudbury. Cars are pinballs. Yeah, well, the first snowfall, no, everybody forgets how to drive. It's stupid. Sci-Fi Nation, I have the Arkham series. Have yet to play them, though. Yeah, I haven't played most of them either. Curtis says, I haven't did any gaming streams yet because of my internet. Okay, well, there you go. Then I haven't missed anything, Curtis. Melissa says, ouch, so nanoprobes are deadly? Granted, sir, but I'm still studying, my apologies, sir. I've been studying the tricorder and hoping that the tri-assembly, and hoping there's a tri-accessibility so I don't have a visor. Gotcha. Well, keep studying. And no, nanoprobes aren't necessarily deadly. They actually keep the Borg alive and repair their systems and their organics. So, but Curtis says, but I hope I get much better net soon. Buffalo Sack Attack, you're playing bumper cars in the snow? Sci-Fi Nation, damn it, Higgins, just sit back, relax. Me and TC will take care of it. Don't forget Rick. Rick will help them. Captain K and Ice Pick. Ice Pick helped too. Captain, do you or would you have liked to have an Enterprise uniform from Star Trek Enterprise? Yes, I love the Star Trek Enterprise jumpsuits. Matt Boardman, the Arkham games are awesome. I just started The Last of Us last night, says Matt. Curtis, I have all 3 of the Batman games so far. I am loving it. Donnie says, either the first Tremors or Family Ties introduced me to Michael Gross, though. I think it was Family Ties for me that introduced me to Michael Gross, but yeah. Curtis, first time playing them too. Sci-Fi Nation, the Batman Telltale series was amazing. Just saying. I have them downloaded. I haven't played them. Melissa says, granted, Cap, you could say I'm Starfleet Medical. I'm interested in Project Resistance from Copernicus Station, which is whoa. There you go. See? Sci-Fi Nation, I saw your TOS shirt on earlier. I was like, I have one. Let's do a show. A TOS shirt. Oh, when we filmed our breakdowns of the phaser and communicator and stuff from the last episode of Prodigy. Yes, I do. I have a few uniforms. I just don't like wearing them as much as Samuel does. Samuel kind of like dreams about wearing his uniforms, I think. It's kind of weird. They're not super comfortable, most of them, honestly, so, Peter Lukaku, $5. What new Trek shows are you looking forward to in 2023? Strange New World Season 2, Picard Season 3, Lower Decks Season 4, holy shit, and Prodigy, more Prodigy. Hopefully we'll get beginning of Season 2 by the end of the year for Prodigy. That would be great. I'm not sure, though, if that's the case, so don't quote me on that, but Melissa says, on Cap, I'm starting to feel better. Guess my T cells woke and fought off the Iridian flu, you could say. Well, there you go. Perfect. I'm glad you're feeling better. Sci-Fi Nation, my TOS shirt has that zipper on the neck. Other than that, it's very high quality. I wear it in my community tab. The fit is awesome as well. Buffalo, Sack Attack. Who would have thought when Star Trek first aired in the 60s that 20 years later we would have our own communicators? Flip phone cells. Right? Who would have thought back then that we'd still be talking about it like 50 years later? Let me tell you a tale. Stop licking my feet. Matt will know this, but pugs love to lick people, things. All body parts. Legs, feet, especially when you get out of the shower, they like licking your legs. Ears. They just like everything. It's just their way of showing that they love you. But it sounds very awful. Especially when you like go to bed and they're like underneath the covers at the foot of the bed and they're like, you just hear this for like 10 minutes because the pug is licking like Sylvia's feet and she's asleep. It's like, stop licking. It's just disgusting. So if you hear any weird sounds like that, that's what's going on. Okay? So just so you know. By the way, 32 of you here, 25 likes. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Keep the super chats coming. We've had a few, which is great. I've had 1.5 shots. So really appreciate that. So Melissa says, Grant a Cap, I'll think about Project Resistance. My hope is Starfleet Medical is still researching. I bet once I'm higher, I might be able to engage the project as I feel it'll save us. Well, there you go. I hope you make a breakthrough and just annihilate the Borg. Kill them all. Captain Casey Stewart, I did not know how much I missed TOS until it was back on Prodigy. I know, we haven't had good TOS since like 2004. When In a Mirror Darkly aired. So Matt Warman says yes they do. Oh my god. Pug juice on the this is disgusting. Sean says 200 years ago we knew that we'd be watching Trek shows on VR headsets about traveling the universe. Peter Lukaku, $5. Okay, so what Star Trek shows won't make it that were promised? Well, Section 31 and Starfleet Academy. I mean, Starfleet Academy has been promised us since the fucking 80s. But no, it's Alex Kurtzman's idea, guys. It's not. So, just for the record. Will we see them? I mean, Starfleet Academy, I think, might be a possibility. Section 31 I've given up on. Not that I ever wanted it in the first place. It could be amazing if they do it right, but you know they won't. So Section 31 and Starfleet Academy, I don't think we're going to get. Melissa says, I would fall real ill with assimilation, hence why I'm interested in that project. Matt Boardman, I found a spot on the pug my girlfriend's son has that every time I scratch it, the pug starts licking the air. Yeah, all pugs have that one spot. Sci-Fi Nation, I would get drunk if I could, but short on funds this month. This is the way. Coming up to Christmas, too. Speaking of being short on funds, I will be for sure in February, because today was the pre-order date for the PSVR 2, so the PlayStation VR 2 headset and charging dock. I got both, and it came to like $960. Now, my card won't be charged until they ship in February, but damn, son, that's more than the PlayStation. But I love VR so much, I had to get it. So, there you go. And now you know. Mr. Captain says, can you explain the difference between alternate timelines and alt universe? What makes one the same person, and what makes the other an alternate person, i.e. Mir Spock versus JJ Spock? That's a very good question. Alternate timelines are due to a catastrophic event in one of the universes that has a split, which continues one line but creates another. Alternate universes have always been running parallel to ours. But when you get a timeline split, you can get branches. So that's the only difference that I'm aware of. They're all alternates, even if it's a timeline split or an alternate universe. They're all alternate versions of those people. So that shit gives me a headache. Melissa says, I'm using an audio manual for study as I can't read visually. That's perfectly acceptable. Whoa, that's expensive. Yeah, it's expensive. Captain Casey Stewart, I hope we never get Section 31 from Kurtzman, honestly. Melissa, I'm about my hypophobia. I'm studying to hypophobia. Hypophobia deserves a spot in the medical database. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't hurt you in any way, Melissa. Don't worry. Sci-Fi Nation says, happy to have you with us. Let us know how to make your experiences even better. Indeed. Yeah, the alternate realities are just ones that run parallel to ours and always have. A timeline split is a major event, like the Kelvin crossover, which actually went to an alternate. See, they're intertwined. You can't separate the two, honestly. And if it's true, like in parallels, that every decision we make in another reality, we made the opposite decision, that just creates so many problems because there's so many different variations then. It's mind-boggling. Doc says the new Artemis rocket is preparing for launch. It's cool to watch. Mr. Captain 93, Section 31, everyone who knows that Section 32 is where the real stuff happens. Ethan Koenig, I want to see some engineer-oriented shows where they design and test new ship designs and technology. That might be kind of cool, actually. Or even a Starfleet Corps of Engineers show would be cool. Melissa, I'm doing my best. If anyone else Starfleet Medical is here. Any tips on hypospray phobia? I know it's a cold feeling, but not too fond of the neck. You can put it anywhere. You don't have to hypospray in the neck. Curtis, do you think that CBS is ever going to restore a few of the TOS episodes with new unreleased footage? We know they got. That would be neat. I don't have faith that they'll do that, but it would be kind of neat to see that added. I don't know how many episodes have it or how much of it there is, but yeah, I would be down to see it, but I don't have faith that they'll do that, Curtis. Peter, what's the difference between original F-18 Hornets and the Super Hornet and Maverick? Just more advanced avionics and computers, essentially. I don't know the exact differences between them. I can tell you some of the differences between like the F-14A and the F-14D, which again is just upgraded radar technology, better missile hardpoints, more structurally sound, better gun, like small little things like that. Just generally the avionics and the electronics have been upgraded. Kind of like the right stuff in the Starfleet era. That'd be cool, Matt. Yeah, like the test pilots. My apologies, Cap. Just nervous with a hypo. My neck nerves are sensitive. I'm thinking of doing my upper wrist with the hypo shot. Upper arm works, the thigh, lots of things work for the hypospray. Trekyards, have you seen the movie Nothing But Trouble, Cap, with Dan Aykroyd, Chevy Chase, John Candy, Demi Moore, and Tupac? Has a heavily modified police car. So cool. Such a crazy but cool movie. I have not seen it. Haven't even heard of that, but great cast. Sci-fi says, no worries. I did the Spock pinch in grade school before TNG was even a thing. They all felt like flies. Magnus says, anyone else watching the Artemis launch? Hopefully tonight. I've heard there's like high winds and stuff, so it might not launch, which would be shitty. But Captain Casey Stewart, Tomcats, Tracker not. Usual targeting systems beyond line of sight and multiple target track and lock. Enhanced data sharing between pilots and control. Curtis says, I saw on YouTube there was a few footage from Space Seed that I was never saw before. Yeah, I don't think there's many episodes where we have extra footage. Sorry, I'm getting a bit out of... My sciatica is acting up a bit, so I apologize if I'm a little shifty. So I don't know. I would love to see... Space Seed would be a good one to add to and have like an extended edition of, because it's such a classic and it leads into the Wrath of Khan. So Mr. Captain 93, what Trek aliens would you like to see mate? Jesus Christ. I think an Andorian and Klingon would be unique. Would the baby be blue or a Klingon with antenna? Who knows? I mean, there's so many possibilities out there for that kind of stuff. So use your imagination, whatever fetish gets you off, I guess. Jesus Christ. Ethan, Nothing But Trouble was a wild movie worth the watch. How old is it? It's got to be at least like 90s. Trek or not, Tomcat is the best side, though. Tomcat is the best. Sci-Fi Nation, just make sure the Rio isn't called Walleyes. Melissa says, feeling a little better with all this typing now that you mention it. Ethan came out in 91. Okay, well, so still has that 80s movies vibe to it, I'm sure. Bright Starline, Captain Foley. Did you hear about the World War II air show accident in Texas over the weekend? Yes, I did. All hands lost. The fighter pilot and the bomber crew, and that's really sad. Plus, we lost 2 warbirds in the deal as well. Yeah, I've seen multiple footage of it from multiple different angles and cameras. A lot of people were recording, and just cut the thing in half, man. Damn. Melissa says thanks to Sci-Fi Nation. Trek or not, I sent you a clip of the car scene in Nothing But Trouble. Police car, proper enhanced. All right, let me see what the hell we got going on here. Everybody's sending me shit. I'm watching it now, Trek or not. Demi Moore looks gorgeous. Young Chevy Chase, love that. Nothing But Trouble, I'll have to check it out. Looks like my kind of movie. Manifolds, okay. Sorry, I'm watching this, guys. I just got to see what he's talking about. I don't want to play the audio. I don't want to get a copyright claim or whatever. Detour. Detour sign, that's great. I would just drive through that sign. So I wouldn't consider the cop car in this movie as sci-fi, but it's very cool nonetheless. Anyway, sorry, I'm ignoring you guys. I'll check that out in full later, Trek or not. Thank you for sending it. Curtis has sent me 2 pictures as well from Arkham City. Yep, Catwoman for sure. Love that. Yeah, I've played a lot of that game. I haven't finished it though. New Artemis rockets preparing for launch. It's cool to launch. Yes. Where are we here? It moved me up in the chat. Sorry, man. Trekyards is an equal opportunity fandom builder. That's correct. This thing has Batman jets. So good. Bright Star says the B-17 and the flight that I think there are only a few flyable B-17s left. Yeah, there aren't many. If you like B-17 movies, you got to see Memphis Belle. Memphis Belle is great. It's a fantastic movie. Melissa says you don't have to transmit the audio files if you don't want to. I understand copyright. I had my share of mistakes. Yeah. Terry, B-17 is old looking compared to many of its contemporaries like the sexy B-29. But the B-17 has such a strong presence. I think I saw the one that crashed visit my town once. Yeah, it's sad seeing those old warbirds go down like that. And there's been a lot of air show incidents with those. My buddy Keith, he works out at the Tilsonburg Airport near here, where they have the old Harvards. I forget what they're also called. They're something else in the States, but here they're called Harvards. They're basically training aircraft, but they're World War II vintage. And they've had people forget to put the landing gear down and land it on the belly, just destroyed the plane. So they had to rebuild it, and then it happened again with another plane. Weird shit. I just saw a video the other day of a Harvard taking off somewhere, and they forgot to release the tow hook, so it's flying above the runway, and it's got the tail hook attached to both wheels, like hanging down underneath it. So, Peter Lukaku, $20. Is there a long episode for 543 in the future, or will they always be shorts? Is there a long episode for 543 in the future, or will they always be shorts? Oh, for Samuel? Power 543 fan films. He's got Temporal Anomaly. That's a full-length movie. But that was before the guidelines. So I don't know. I don't know if he'll ever do a long one. I don't think he can. But yeah, he's done some longer stuff for sure. Speaking of, thank you, Peter. That's another shot. Oh, maple goodness. Captain Casey Stewart. Captain, ever watch 1941 with Dan Aykroyd? No. I don't believe so. But you just reminded me another movie I love, which I haven't seen in a long time, Spies Like Us, with Dan Aykroyd and Chevy Chase. Doctor. Yeah. Matt Boardman says, I think Convergence is going to be a longer one. Yes, Convergence, I think it's going to be a little bit longer as well. Grant McGregor, with engineer ships being discussed, my idea of a ship that builds the transwarp network. It's a rapid deployment refinery from mining to product. So when Prodigy showed the vehicle replicator, I screamed saying, that is nearly my nearly identical idea. Yep. Terry Farley, I haven't seen any investigation info, but I wonder if that P-63 impact was airspace conflict, only only, or if the P-63 overestimated its turn rate at that speed. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to follow that because I want to find out exactly what happened there for sure. Says a couple of years ago, a GU-52 crashed that belonged to the GU Air that flew them classic. Sadly, now all JU-52s got grounded that belonged to the Swiss Luftwaffe till 1980s and belonged to Joe. What he said. Tim McCaffrey, the Reliance Registry was for that movie, 1941. But that's not the Reliance Registry. I thought the Reliance Registry was 1946. Now my brain hurts. Anyway, Melissa, doctor this, doctor that. Exactly. Terry, Spies Like Us is awesome, especially Gen X like me. The 2 or 3 years ago was that crash. Captain Casey Stewart, ever seen It's a Mad World? That's an old comedy. Yes, I have seen that. Ethan says, which vehicle replicator was likely a repurposed industrial unit? Melissa says, sorry for the slow comments, battling chills from the cold. Could really use some Metropan right now. Captain Casey Stewart, 1864 is the Reliant. Scratch that. 1864. Scratch that, it was 1864. Yeah, that's what I thought. Curtis, I have the Spies Like Us on DVD. Good man. Peter, Super Troopers Bridge Crew soon. Super Troopers Bridge Crew? Come on, we're not that bad. Tim McCaffrey, sorry, it was the USS Bozeman, 1941. That makes more sense. Yes, the Bozeman, yeah. Melissa says, I like the speak function on the replicator. I'm a fan of that feature. Of course you are. Absolutely. Hold on one second. I just got to shoot off a quick message here. All right. Back to the chat, everybody. Who commanded the Bozeman and who played him? Well, it was Kelsey Grammer that played him, and it was Captain Bateson. Peter Lukaku, what's the best way to cut a whole onion? For reals? Underwater if you don't want to cry, or freeze it. There's many ways, actually. Many ways to skin a cat. Reliant 1864 and Defiant 1764. Sci-Fi Nation, and was it the same Bozeman and Generations that had to make a course correction? Probably not. Captain Bateson is actually in Lower Decks, first episode of season 3. He was one of the guys that went undercover to help with the investigation for Captain Freeman. So, Casey Stewart. Speaking of Defiant, the TOS in Mirror Darkly was my favorite Defiant, even over DS9. Agreed. Cap. Oh, yes. Thick skin on an onion means a hard, cold winter. I, I'm just going to be quiet. I could have said something there, but I'm not going to. Trek or not, just tell that onion who's boss, okay? Donnie says, I have seen Defiant in DS9 before I have seen the one in TOS. Well, then I feel bad for you, my friend. Terry Farley, capsicum in green chili will make you cough when you cut it. And now I know. Curtis says, if you have a wife, she can cut the whole onion for you. Wow, Curtis. My dude, I'm going to go tell the Admiral you said that. That's funny, though. Peter, Frasier was better on Cheers than his own show. That's true. Matt Boardman, watching through Lower Decks again and got the season 1, episode 8 Veritas. The Tendy Blackout part makes me laugh so much. It was great. Terry, love Cheers, but I love Frasier series, maybe better, not sure. Sci-Fi Nation, green chilies are weak. You should try pepper spray. Melissa Jericho, there is an Imperial starship called Defiant in Star Wars as well. It's a good name for a ship, honestly. So, Trek or not, get anything cool this Christmas, Cap? Any plans? I mean, I don't know what I'm getting. That's the whole point of getting gifts. You open them at Christmas time. Any plans? I mean, just have a good Christmas with my family. We're doing the same thing we do like every year. Christmas Eve, we go over to Sylvia's sister's place, Susie. She's got a big house, so we all go over there and we spend the day there, eat food, open presents, come back Christmas Eve around 7 p.m., watch a Christmas movie or something, and then the kids, they all come over on Christmas Day around lunch, and we hang out and have a good day, and then have a good meal, and, you know, same old, same old. Not too much going on at Christmas time, generally. Nothing too out of the box as far as things going on. Mr. Captain says, any new Trek toys coming out for Christmas? I don't know, but if you guys missed it last night, Aaron Waltke was in the chat, and he said that Playmates is going to be making Protostar, USS Protostar toy, which I'm super excited for. I love the Protostar, and I love Playmates stuff, so I was stoked to hear that. Matt Boardman made some chili once for a contest, threw some mace in there, and ended up winning hottest chili. Jesus Christ. Melissa is excited for Christmas, as am I, Melissa. Terry says, green chili cheeseburger, best hamburger, Hatch, green from New Mexico. Captain Casey Stewart. Actually, other than Enterprise, my favorite Constitution class is Defiant and her uniforms. Curtis says, I saw at my Walmart they have the new TOS USS Enterprise from Playmates. I have the original, but don't mind having that one too, but it's high. Yeah, it's like 60 or 70 bucks. And it's the exact same mold, except the buttons are different, placed different, and they're bigger, and it's kind of stupid. It's got more lights in it than the original one. I want to get one. I haven't seen it here in Canada yet. I still haven't got a clear answer from anybody in Canada that might know where they're being sold here, because they're not at our Toys R Us and they're not at our Walmart. So I don't know where they are. I know I can probably order them from Amazon, but I really like finding that stuff out in the wild, you know? Mike P. Hey, Captain Foley, Fleet Yards with the Avenue 5, just a thought. Yeah, but there's a whole list of Fleet Yard ships we need to do. The Avenue 5 is on it. Yeah, I would love to talk about it. But we've kind of stopped with the Fleet Yards because they don't really get the views that we need. So it's sad but true. Terry says red chili on mashed potatoes is my favorite for Thanksgiving dinner. My favorite thing, well, I love mashed potatoes. I'm a huge mashed potato fan. Maybe it's because I'm Irish, I don't know. But mashed potatoes with butter and salt and pepper. Oh my God, amazing. But to make it even better, butter, salt and pepper, sour cream, and green onions. Or loaded mashed potatoes. You get some cheese on there as well with all those other toppings. And even some bacon. Awesome. I just love mashed potatoes. Mr. Captain 93, we need you and Sam to do a live stream watching along with some Trek movies over Christmas. I would love to do that. I would love to do a watch along and just kind of commentary along the way. But I think Samuel would talk too much and I wouldn't be able to get my points in edgewise. And I don't know how we would do it, but I would love to do that. We've talked about doing something like that before. We'll see. Sci-Fi Nation says, my buddy in New Zealand is building the Playmates one. I mean, he's building it. Is he designing it? You don't build Playmates because they're toys. They come assembled. So I don't know what you mean by that. If he's like designing it or... Mr. Captain 93, do you still have Enterprise movie paint? You should paint some streaks on some cards and sell that. I'd love to have a small bit of Enterprise movie paint. I guess I still have the pearlescent paint they used on the model for the motion picture. I got it from Laura Johnson, formerly known as Shane Johnson, who wrote Mr. Scott's Guide to the Enterprise, Worlds of the Federation, and so many other books. So she sent me a little, and it's actually just the pearlescent. So you actually add a few drops of this pearlescent into your regular paint you're using to give it that sheen. So yes, I still have that. I plan on using it on my 350 refit when I finally paint that. So it'll be like a part of the actual motion picture ship is on my ship, which would be very cool. But I don't want to fuck it up, so I've been very scared to finish it. But selling cards? Maybe. After I've used what I need to use, that might be a good idea. Terry Farley, I'm going to watch Star Trek First Contact for Christmas. Kind of growing tradition for me. Oh, really? Okay. Sci-Fi Nation, I'm making homemade dressing, bread, bacon, seasoning, grease, real butter. I love that. It sounds so good, man. I'm coming over to your place. Bright Starline, Captain, do you like the angled handrails on the Enterprise or curved handrails on the Defiant from Antimatter Darkly? They're both pretty great. I think I'd probably like the Defiance more with just the curve. That's a small thing that not a lot of people realize that was different about the Defiant bridge. But they're both great. Honestly, I think the curved ones are probably a little less dangerous. I have a feeling like with all the shake, rattle, and roll that goes on in that ship, if you're walking along and you stumble and crack your head on one of the corners, not really a corner, but like a... Either way, you're hitting your head on a railing, whether it's curved or not, but just that extra little bit of a point could be dangerous, so I'm going to go with the round ones. Squadron Chorus, getting your points in edgewise. That's a funny expression for a swordsman. Yep. Sci-Fi Nation, no, it's being rebuilt. Paint and everything, apparently. What's being rebuilt? The Playmates Enterprise? Or the Playmates Protostar? I don't know what you mean, how your friend is doing it. Like, what, does he work for Playmates? Is that what he's doing? I'm confused, my dude. Terry, maybe a dumb question. Probably. If you lead with that, probably. Just kidding. But is there a way to keep old model paint from coagulating? Yeah, just make sure the bottle's sealed. This pearlescent stuff is unique because it's, like I said, it's just the pearlescent. It's not actually a paint. So it's weird. You add a few drops of it into whatever paint you're using and it gives it a pearlescent sheen. So it's still liquid. It's still good. I don't know how, but it is. But yeah, just make sure the bottle is sealed. Melissa's favorite starship is the D. Sci-Fi Nation, I still have dibs on that credit ruining 350 cap. Just saying. Okay. Peter Lukaku, $2. Guilty pleasure movie tonight. I don't know what I'm watching tonight. I might just watch some Red Letter Media. But that being said, we talked about Spies Are Us and stuff like that, and I don't know. We'll see. Might have to search for a good old movie to watch. I don't know, Peter. Sci-Fi Nation, maybe it isn't Playmates. It's the weird saucer-shaped one. Weird saucer-shaped what? Protostar? I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. He's all mad at me now, probably. Bright Star Line. I think the dark lighting in Emir Darkly made the bridge look cooler as well. Yeah, absolutely. It was theatrical, cinematic lighting, modern cinematic lighting techniques made that bridge look amazing. Mr. Captain 93, if JJ makes his Trek 4, do they push the envelope and move ahead far enough in time to bring in updated TMP uniforms? That would be awesome. Or the Monster Maroons, I would be fine with that. Playmobil. You say Playmobil or Playmates? Now I'm confused. I hear the Puggy. Yes, you do. Goodfellas for me. My favorite Enterprise is the NCC 1701. Sci-Fi Nation, Playmobil. That sounds right. Oh, so he's painting his Playmobil Enterprise? Why? I'm so confused. It's okay. I'm usually confused for some reason, so. Mr. Captain 93, I think it would be fun to mess with Sam on a live stream and have you do a live stream with a window behind you. With a window behind me. What do you mean by a window? Like an open window? Terry Farley, LOL, yep. In dry Southwest, maybe I need to work extra on sealing them. Triple bag, maybe two. That might help too, yeah. Depends on the paint quality as well. Trek or not, nothing but trouble on Prime, Cap. You say that, but you're in the UK. So you get different things on Prime. And I don't have my TV thing hooked up to a VPN, so. Sci-Fi Nation, LOL, mad, that's funny. Melissa says the audio manuals from Starfleet are a big help. Trekyards says don't mess with Sam. Don't mess with Sam. He's Southern English and they don't take jokes lightly. Mr. Captain 93 says a window behind you because the light would wash you out and would drive Sam insane. Yes, this is true. I like it. Pumpkin Spice, read something about the Borg and Kelvin Trek 4. If true, man, don't bother then. You read a lot of things about Star Trek 4. It's not being made at this point, so don't even believe anything you read. Sci-Fi Nation, Samuel does jokes rather well. Watch his interview with me. Depends on his mood. And it depends on his state of being at the time. Curtis says, maybe you need a green screen, Captain, on your live. I mean, I'd love to get a good green screen, honestly. Long Rider. That might be okay if it had something to do with V'ger and didn't really involve Borg drones. Maybe. Listen, Jericho, it's been a while. Oh, sorry. It's been made. It's just called Dungeons and Dragons now. Oh, okay. Say what? Y'all are driving me to drink in this live, I gotta say. Oh, or my brain's in neutral because I don't get a lot of what you're saying. And you're not super chatting for me to drink, so I guess you're driving me to drink. We have 43 likes right now. Can we get 7 more likes, get to 50? That'd be great. Mr. Captain 93, I often get the impression you're not into fan films like Sam. I'm not. I enjoy some fan films, some way more than others, but I don't seek out watching fan films because they frustrate me, to be quite fair. And yes, Sam is more into fan films because I've never been in a fucking fan film. That's another. Although the one that's coming out this Friday from him, I do the voice of the Ferengi. So look out for that. I'll be doing the voice of the Ferengi. So there, I'm kind of in one. Sci-Fi Nation. Samuel does have his moods. Must just be the host. LOL. Just fun with you, Cap. You got to understand though, Sci-Fi, that me and Samuel have been working together for 8+ years now, and it's almost like we're married. So we get on each other's nerves quite a bit. It's only reasonable. And yes, we go on other shows and we act quite differently. So. Matt Boardman, did you say human? Yes, I did. I did indeed. I made sure that was in there. Short Treks, the animated adventures of Captain Foley in the 23rd century. Mr. Captain 93, everyone type cannon to drive the captain nuts. Also, mess your hair, mess you there. Oh my God. Mr. Captain, your whole comment just drove me nuts. Jonathan Jones, hey Captain Foley, that's your opinion, sir, and I respect it, but remember, fan films are what cut Trek's luster alive for those. I want to remember the Trek servers. I didn't say I don't like fan films. I enjoy fan films. I just enjoy ones that are better made. I understand some of them don't have the budget, and I do watch those still. But it's just, a lot of it's very frustrating for me. So don't call me out and say that's your opinion, sir. I just don't seek out fan films. If one comes up in my suggested feeds, I'll watch it. A lot of them are kind of rough to get through, honestly. But I don't mind watching fan films. I want to be in some fan films, for sure. But I don't know where you got that. I understand that it kept the love for Star Trek alive over the years. I get that. I never said it didn't. So I don't know where that's coming from. Long Writer, what's frustrating about fan films? They have too much wish fulfillment in them. No, that's not frustrating at all. That's what you want to be. You want to be in Star Trek. You want to be linked to a legendary character. What's frustrating about them for me is sometimes the lack of effort that's put in. I know not everybody has filmmaking skills, but some of them are just very, very amateurish, and just kind of, you have an idea, good. Maybe work on it a little more. That being said, I could do better on my videos, so it's fine. If you're interested, I'm part of a group looking to do a film, Cap. Only if I can be Captain Foley. No, not interested. Trek or not, don't say con, because that just can't happen. Damon Foley. This is Jericho. I like the new Voyages fan films back in the day. Curtis says, I sent you another photo, Captain. I'll check it out in a second, Curtis. Trek fan films, some are okay, but the original Trek is far better. Even the new ones, if they do it right. Star Trek Continues is great. I wouldn't consider Star Trek Continues fan films. They're a little bit too polished to be a fan film for me. Captain Casey Stewart, the more I see the TOS Enterprise, the more I love its design, inside and out, as well as the sounds and all, as you should. Sci-Fi Nation, the group I'm in has almost no budget, but we are dedicated. Okay. Good luck. Trek or not, I don't watch fan movies either unless it is in front of me. Matthew Mauler, how's the basement coming out? It's finished. It's been finished for quite some time. Thank you, though. Captain Casey Stewart, Star Trek Continues was a great fan film series. Again, I don't consider it fan film. Jonathan Jones, I wasn't calling you out, Captain Foley. I was just saying that some of them are better than others. You're dead on when you say the budgetary constraints can make good one or a bad one. Yes, and a lot of even just good writing, even if you don't have the budget to show anything really good, I can suspend my disbelief and picture what it should look like if the writing's good. But some of the writing is just atrocious. Some of the audio is damn near like you gotta crank your TV up to hear anything. It's like those things, the audio and the writing and even the acting more or less should be more on point. Practice your lines more. Don't just walk in, get the script, read it, and then say your line, say your next line, say your next line. Like, do it a few times, get a good take. That's just common sense. So, usually catch Sam's because they come up in Facebook feed, and they are rather fun. Mr. Captain 93, what are your thoughts on Star Trek Continues? I think it's great. I think Vic Mignogna and crew did a fantastic job. Sci-fi, although I wish they wouldn't have gone 4:3 aspect ratio. That fucking annoys me. I know that's what the originals were, but no, please just don't do that. You probably could. We have a Commodore and a Commander. Nice. Well, we'll see. Matt Boardman says, I worked on every episode of Star Trek Continues. Oh, that's why they suck. I'm just kidding. That's awesome, Matt. Jonathan Jones, I still think Captain Foley, you should do a skit or a segment of you and your TOS Dreadnought visiting the Kelvinverse. That would be uber epic. I don't have any special effects skills to do such things, so no. Alyssa Jericho, the best fan film series so far is Stone Trek. Matthew Mahler, no worries. We had to redo ours due to mold, so I understand the stress. Yeah, it's done finally. It's all finished. It's all perfect now, and it's great. Just a little, I gotta do a little bit more organizing in the one corner, but other than that, it's good. I've done some videos on it already on the Captain Foley personal channels, so. James Colley had a nice fan film at the time, Captain. Yep. Yep, he did. Star Trek New Voyages. It's also very good. Squadron Course, I'd say things like Phase 2 and Continues are like the AAA fan films. They're what everyone else would make, quality-wise, if they could. Yes. Matt Boardman, I think a lot of fan films could benefit from more practice with their lines. 100% yes. I could have been the weakest link on those. Sean, I view most of the fan films using the TOS actors or scripts as legit Trek continuations. Trek or not, if a fan film is too good, though, they would come down on it like it. No, they wouldn't. Jonathan Jones, also Captain Foley, I can't definitively say one way or another, but what are your thoughts on these Bluetooth nacelles from the Discovery series? Detachable nacelles. I think they're fine. God damn it, it's the fucking future. It's 900 years in the future. Even Doug Drexler, when we interviewed him with the Enterprise J, said that we talked about the connection points to the nacelles being so small, and he said, well, it could be that after that they actually go wireless. They don't need to be connected. I have no problem with disconnected nacelles. None at all. I don't see why everybody's got their panties in a twist about it. I think it's fine, honestly. It's the fucking future. It's fine. Like, some of the ships look kind of stupid with them detached, but I like that they do lock onto the ship when they don't really need them to be. It's fine. It's fine. As long as the fan film isn't trying to make money from their works, they aren't trying to rip CBS on Paramount. They're good. There was Star Star Wreck and Babylon 5 crossover. Star Wreck was awesome. I love the Star Wreck ones. Trekyards. Oh, read that one, sorry. SE Scout Guy, are the Star Trek Triple X parody films considered fan films? If so, I have quite a few favorites. No, those are just porn. Porn will make a parody of anything. So they're not fan films at all. No. Matthew Mahler, CBS should have embraced fan films more and shared them on their website as Tales from the Holodeck. That'd be cool. Huh. Doug has said that he wishes he had never said that now. Did he say that really after seeing or hearing about Discoveries? I know he hasn't watched Discovery, so that's funny, man. Sci-Fi Nation, even the TOS Enterprise nacelles could be detached in an emergency, for fuck's sakes. Yes, they get detached with explosive bolts to separate from the ship in case of emergency, yes, but that's not the same as... Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Trek or not, cool. Does that extend to the makers paying actors? Then they are profiting from work on it, though. It's no, because they're not making money off the final product in the name of Star Trek, so it's fine. Long Raider, I think I've read that the rules are your fan films can't be more than 15 minutes and can't have more than one sequel, can't make money, and can involve Trek actors. That's some of the rules, yes, but they're more like guidelines. CBS doesn't even care about half that stuff anymore. Samuel's been making fan films with the same characters forever. They don't really care. They're guidelines, they're not rules, first of all. So, if nothing else anymore, standards indication, I would love for a fan film to tackle the entirety of the time. The Enterprise's Bravo and Charlie, their stories deserve to be heard. I mean the Enterprise B and C, yes. This is Jericho. I just wish the nacelles moved a bit more. They just look silly, detached, and stationary. Nah, I don't think so. Mr. Caps 93, no problem with disconnected nacelles. Photon torpedoes out of the nacelles, different story. Yes, that's egregious, especially when it's a ship where you know what those are for because of the era it was built in, and you got photon torpedoes coming out of them. But that being said, there's been visual effects gaffes like that forever. Even in TNG, there was some weird shit with where the photon torpedoes came from once or twice, so it's fine. Sci-Fi Nation, I get it, Cap. Emergency separation is way different than having them detached at warp. 9.9999999999999. Okay, when you're at warp, you have a warp bubble around your ship, right? So nothing inside that warp bubble is actually moving. Space is moving around the warp bubble. So it doesn't matter if they're detached going at a high speed. Matt Boardman, yes, they're guidelines, which means that if you follow those 100%, then you're good, but that doesn't mean you have to strictly adhere to them. Power 543 fan films, go check him out. Matt Boardman, I've been doing fan films since the early 2000s. So long as you are respectful to the IP owners and don't try to make money from it, then you should be good. Jonathan Jones, LOL, I think so too. I think Jonathan Frakes once told me at a Trek convention that when he didn't understand something in the script technologically, Roddenberry would reply, they figured it out. Exactly, it's the fucking future. Be sure to check out Power 543 Fan Films after they live, yes. Go subscribe to Power 543 Fan Films and also subscribe to the Captain Foley personal channel because I'm the captain and I said so. Captain Casey Stewart, yeah, TNG phasers came out of photon launchers. Yes, there's been visual gaffes like that before. It's just the visual effects team messed up or something. It's fine. Trek or not, at warp the ship isn't moving, space is folding around the bubble, contracting in front of and expanding behind. Exactly. D1A, maybe. Have we suppressed the woke Hollywood writing, please? Well, sorry about Star Trek has always been woke. I fucking hate the word fucking woke. It's been progressive. Um, fuck off. Seriously, it's. I can see that there's a little bit more progressiveness lately, but it's just the swing of the pendulum. The pendulum was up here back in the 50s and 60s. Right now it's over here. In the middle, there's a nice balance, and there has been a nice balance. In the 90s, the 80s, well, the 80s somewhat, 80s, 90s, it's a pendulum. And unfortunately, right now, it's at the outer point. So it's fine. But I fucking hate the term woke. Terry, defiant photons came out of the junction of the small gap next to the triangle modules on front edge. Okay. Jonathan Jones, also Captain Foley. I don't know if you're like me, but I just want them to utilize the Enterprise J in a production, whether fan or syndication, because it's Enterprise. I hate the Enterprise J, for the record. Not a fan of the design. Sorry, Doug. I think he already knows that, though. It's not a good-looking ship, for the record. Long Rider, I think I remember that. Did the Defiant have it in DS9 too? Yeah, I mean, there's been visual shit like that all throughout Trek, just mistakes. So, Sean says, I wish that there was a centralized site other than Google or YouTube that listed all the fan series sorted by viewer rate. And that'd be cool. Jawa. Jowl. Oh, wait, I did subscribe to both channels. Good. Mr. Captain 93, would you like to see Dax in Discovery? No. But I would like to see Dax in my bedroom. Jonathan Jones, guidelines that actual rules makes me think of Pirates of the Caribbean, where Barbossa, Jeffrey Rush, has also been more interesting than Johnny Depp in these films. Sci-Fi Nation, that's why I retracted it. Oh. Matthew Mahler, they should do the Lost Era via animation. I agree. The Lost Era needs to be visited, but I don't have faith they'll do it right. They'll probably fuck it up, and that's the one era I don't want fucked up. Because I love the movie aesthetic, the movie era aesthetic, the ambassador class, the refits, those computers, the displays, the blue and the green on black. I don't want them to fuck it up and redesign it like they did with Strange New Worlds. Not that Strange New Worlds is fucked up. It's a nice visual reboot for sure, but it's not Prime. As much as they want to tell us it's Prime, it's not. It's a nice visual reboot. If the JJ movies had looked like Strange New Worlds, even the Enterprise, I would have been like, yes, you guys did a fantastic job. But no, the Enterprise in those movies is hideous. Jonathan Jones, I would like to see a new fan film with TOS where they go back to the planet with the green space hand. Apollo wasn't it? Yes, it was Apollo, and Star Trek Continues covered that in Pilgrim of Eternity, where with Apollo, the same actor, is back. So, Star Trek, in my opinion, is outside of current bastardization of politics, and shit works well. A blend of ideals that are contradictory now. Captain Casey Stewart, like to see both Daxes in bed. How that'd be. Yeah. Maybe they should do an animated version of the Lost Era, but only when they do it right. Like Lord X and Prodigy. Exactly. Prodigy. Those Prodigy guys I would trust to do a Lost Era show for sure. Same with Lord X. I'll say a lot of plots current with CBS trend. Nilst, which is not what older canon was. Sci-Fi Nation, 5 foot nothing of pure awesomeness for Ezra, yes. Trekyards, the JJ Enterprise bridge looks like a futuristic Japanese bathroom prototype. It looks like a fucking Apple store. It's even got scanners, for Christ's sakes. Matt Boardman, Mike Forrest, he is such a lovely man. I've enjoyed talking with him every time he's come over to Doug's house. Whoa, why does that name Sound familiar? What did Mike Forrest do, Matt? Terry says, Esri is sweet, sweet, sexy. Yeah, Esri is just cute and bubbly. Jadzia's kind of sultry and hot. Like, there's a difference there. Mike Forrest was Apollo. Okay, he was the actor that played Apollo. Yes, he was in Star Trek Continues and reprised his role as Apollo. So that has been revisited. Jonathan Jones, articulation of the ships during the initial run from TNG to Voyager was always a hurdle with the producers. From everything I've ever read from Rick Sternbach, they appreciated consistency. Kit 10K is here. Hey, Kit. Hey, Cap. Had a few before I go into work, so just wanted to say what's up. Good to see you, man. I haven't seen you in a while, so good to see you. Hopefully your shift is good at work. Kloonberg says Esri was cute in the movie Cube. I don't know if I've seen that. Esri and Jadzia both have bedroom eyes. Oof. Matt Boardman, I did his de-aging in the final scene of his Star Trek Continues episode. Sci-Fi Nation, also Charlie X actor reprised his role in a fan film. Yes, that was Of Gods and Men. Jonathan Jones, the ablative shielding concept, if I remember correctly, Michael Okuda wrote somewhere that he always had a suggested idea of, and it took until Voyager for the producers to sign off on it. Boo. Producers. Pfft, who needs them? Melissa says, I'm going to eat some healthy oatmeal. Thanks for the tips on the Hypospray Cap. No problem. Enjoy your oatmeal and feel better and feel warmer and take care of yourself. Curtis Simpkins says, how is Doug been doing since the passing of his wife? I haven't saw any of his posts recently. No recap. He's doing all right, off and on, I guess. I've talked to him a few times, and I don't necessarily like what I hear from him. He seems very down. Matt could probably speak more to that. I think Matt has, lives closer and has actually talked to him more, but I never know what to say in those sorts of situations. So he's on Facebook occasionally. He'll do posts and stuff, but it's not quite as frequent as it was. So Kit 10K, my shift would be better if it wasn't snowing where I am. Oh man. Matt Boardman, Of Gods and Men was the first fan film I worked on. They were very kind and very green visual effects artists. They were very kind to a very green visual effects artist. Well, everybody's got to get a start somewhere, Matt. Trek or Not, Lethal Weapon is a great Christmas movie, even starts with Jingle Bell Rock. It's true. Jonathan Jones, I mean, if the deflector array can be converted into a giant phaser later, I don't see why they couldn't make a photon torpedo launcher a stand-in phaser emitter. With some work, sure, why not? Sci-Fi Nation, the snow has hit the Rust Belt early. My fellow Americans are mad. Funny thing is, when I was a kid, we were jumping on snowbanks to go trick-or-treating. Yeah, there was photographic proof that the snowbanks in my parents' driveway were like 6 feet high some winters. You don't get that anymore. So not sure if you've talked about it, but how do you feel about the passing of Kevin Conroy, the greatest Batman? I mean, it's sad. What do you want me to say? He had cancer. It's not like we didn't see it coming. But yeah, it's sad. He was the definitive Batman. So, I emailed you years ago about Vic Mignogna, and he wrote back, was awesome. A Swiss actor, comedian, did the same this year. That's cool. Matt Boardman, Doug has been very busy lately with work, which I think is good for him. We've talked about doing something over at his place, but probably not until work calms down for him. Yeah, I've reached out to Doug and said that we're probably going to be in the LA area in March. Would it be okay if we came and visited you? And he said, I always love seeing you. So I don't know if he understood that Samuel was coming with me or not, but yeah, so I'd like to see him in March. We'll see how that goes. Jonathan Jones, yeah, on the Defiant and many other starships, the torpedo launcher, as well as the other weapons of the array, are flush with the hull. I guess that makes them less noticeable, like TOS. Jonathan Jones, I mean, fair enough. The Enterprise J to me is so far flung. It just, nothing else looks like it. I think I could be the definitive ship for Star Trek, but it does look like some 1960s pizza cutter. 1950s pizza cutter. You got to understand too that that's like Enterprise J is what, 600 years in the future. Discovery is now 900 years in the future. So like the Voyager J, and those ships are like more advanced than the Enterprise J. So, but yeah, it's ugly. It's an ugly ship. Sci-Fi Nation, found out my buddy has liver cancer tonight. A real life friend. No one here on the tubes. Kind of depressed tonight. Hope it isn't showing. It's not, and I'm sorry to hear that. Thank you for stopping by, and glad I could keep you company on the night you got such awful news. Sorry to hear that, my friend. Wonder who's going to be the next voice of it. I don't know. There's been a lot of Batman voices though, and Kevin Conroy Batman is pretty easy to imitate for a lot of people. So, but yeah. We hit 50 likes, which is awesome. I would love another $25 in super chats if possible. 20 will get me to have a shot. Yeah, I think 25 in super chats would be awesome if possible. So, and if you haven't hit like yet, please give that like button a tap. If you're watching this after the fact and it's not live, by all means consider super thanksing. There's a super thanks button down there, which is like a super chat, only not live. So we still really appreciate it. Jonathan Jones, I was so happy when Andrew Probert's original ambassador made his debut on Star Trek Online. His design language always gives depth to expression. The Enterprise D is still the best looking one. Enterprise D looks great. I admit I didn't like it much when I was younger and at first saw it. I was kind of like, It grew on me pretty quick though. Honestly, I think Rick Sternbach's ambassador class is a better design. For the record. I didn't like the ambassador class for a lot of years until I built the model. But once I built the model, I think that's a fantastic design. I've got the gold San Diego Comic-Con exclusive one from Diamond Select up there. I love the Enterprise C. I love Rick Sternbach's interpretation of it. Not so much a fan of Andrew Probert's, honestly. I don't mind it being called the Probert class and be its own ship. That's cool. But I understand his design language and stuff for sure. So, SC Scout Guy, have you put the Camaro in storage yet? The Camaro is covered and it's in the driveway. I didn't find a storage unit for it this year, but it is covered. It's in the driveway. It's fine. Sci-Fi Nation, thanks, Stuart. You're awesome, bud. Let's help Stuart get to his goals, everyone. I've already hit I hit 55 likes now. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Matt Boardman throws in that $25 I was asking for to say thanks for showing us the pictures with that awesome Strange New Worlds jacket. Yeah, if you haven't seen those on Facebook, go check them out. It is a fun jacket to wear. It looks really good. Makes me look slimmer than I am, which I appreciate. So, plus I needed a new jacket anyway, so it all works out very well. All right, so I'm pouring myself a drink for that. Thank you, Matt. That is a good super chat. Matt, you shouldn't be super chatting me. What the hell, man? We talked about this last night. But I got my Skynet cup here. Neural net-based artificial intelligence. I love that stuff. Probert's is better. The Sternbach one should be retcon diplomat class. Nope, disagree. Matt Boardman says, Stuart knows that the ambassador is one of my faves too. Yes. Kid 10K, hey Cap. Which pup is that I hear snoring? Both of them. Well, all three of them are here actually right now. But right now, I think only Precious is snoring. Avenue Pad, the Ambassador class is a great design. I almost wish it was the Enterprise D. LOL. Heresy, I know. Urge, take care, Captain. Until next time. Always awesome hanging around with you on here. Shame it isn't in real life, but maybe one day. Yes, one day. I hope it is. I hope I get to hang out with all of you in real life one day. Jonathan Jones, I concur. I think Sternbach was given a job and he did what he thought was right. Had they had more time for conceptualization and production, it would have retained its styling cues with the B and the D. Yes. Kit 10K, have a good time at work, live long and prosper. Enterprise J looked better with a secondary hull. Yes, it absolutely did. That concept was much better. I totally agree with you. And Curtis Simpkins, Captain, I am thinking on having a second YouTube channel for gaming, but I want to know, can I use OBS Studio on that channel and not my own? Yes, so you just have to change the stream input key when you stream on the other channel. Jonathan Jones, yeah, I've seen a variant with the secondary hull swept up. I think they call it the Congo class. Yes, it was the Congo class or something of that nature. And I like the J, but it's a simplified swept design. Yeah, the Congo class was far superior. And I'm not going to get into why they picked the J, because the producers are idiots. That's why the deflector's on the front of the saucer. All right, I'll get into it real quick. The producers are like, you can't have the deflector down there because people won't understand that it's an evolution of the NX-01, which has the deflector on the front of the saucer. Yeah, like every other fucking Enterprise after that had the deflector on the front of the secondary hull, you dumbasses.
But people that watch our show haven't seen the other shows and don't know about the other Enterprises. Heel.
Really? Yeah, fucking dumbasses. No, that's why they put the fucking deflector on the front of the Enterprise J saucer.
To show it's a visual link and a tie-in and an evolution of the NX-01 design, because that one also has a deflector on the front of the saucer. Heel.
Fuck, producers are stupid. Yeah, so that's why. Ignore every other Enterprise that came after the NX-01 or before, because they were all created before it. It was shoehorned in as... And on that note, that fun, interesting piece of trivia, I will now go, and I will see you guys in the future. Hope you have a good night, a good rest of your week, a good weekend, a good holiday, whatever is coming up for you guys. I will be doing more lives, obviously, but I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me. This is always fun, and please join me for any other lives I do. Also, make sure you go subscribe to Power 543 Fan Films on YouTube, and also the Captain Foley personal channel as well. We really appreciate that stuff. We love you guys. Hit like on every video you watch. Spread the word. Spread the Trekyards goodness. And by all means, just take care of yourselves. It's Captain Foley signing off until next time. Bye, everybody.